Can you believe it? We are at the close of another year. Today, we're going to do something really special together. We're not going to just recap the year. We're going to reflect on it in a way that will actually propel you forward into 2026 with intention, clarity, and a renewed energy. Because here's the thing. Reflection isn't about just looking back. It's about mining your experience for gold, for those wisdom nuggets, for those insights that will help you grow into the person you are becoming and meant to be. So let's close out this year together with intention. Hey mama, are you overwhelmed by your full, blessed life? Do you feel stuck in the messy, mundane middle? Then I'm so glad you're here to take a breath. Hey, I'm Shan Wright, RN, holistic wellness coach, and a mom to four that went from perfectionism, control, and lots of anxiety to intentionally living through simple solutions and so much peace. If you are done with the stressed out life, hot mess express type of motherhood, then heat up that coffee again and let's live holistically well in the middle. Let's go. In our culture, we are so conditioned to keep moving, to keep producing, to keep going, to never stop. But the truth is, growth doesn't happen in the hustle, within the game, within the action. It actually happens in reflection, in the recovery, in the post-game report, in looking back over what happened, what you did, the learning. The learning process doesn't happen when you're doing the thing. It's in those other moments. So think about this. You wouldn't plant a garden and never check on it, right? You go out there, you'd observe what's thriving, what needs more water, what needs to be pulled out. Reflection is the same thing. It's tending to the garden of your life. And I like that analogy because I feel like I was in a lot of pruning this year. And my time of reflection is going to be spent really looking at those times where God, who is the gardener, he's called the gardener of our life. He's out there pruning what needs to be removed. And so looking at your life and looking at the year and saying, what has been taken out and what fruit is God trying to grow? So we partner with God in this process. And as we close out 2025, I want you to walk through a powerful reflection practice that is going to set you up for the next year. Are you ready? Okay, so there's 4 questions, and actually I have a bonus question. So these are questions to be asked and answers to be written down. So you might be driving, you might be on your way to work, you might be listening to this in the car when you're shopping, grocery, laundry, doing something. Take the moment if you can to write yourself a note and go back and listen to these questions and do these questions when you're sitting down with your journal and praying and having time of meditation and journaling, okay? That is what these questions are for. So I want you to make sure you have them noted to go back and do, because if you just hear them and you don't actually answer them, it's not going to do you a whole lot of good. Question 1, what worked? What actually worked in your life this year? What decisions did you make that moved the needle? What relationship flourished? What habits served you? What brought you peace, joy, and growth? And what I want you to do is actually go through each holistic area. So I know this might take some time, but you can clump some of them together. But for instance, you're going to go through physically, in your body physically, what actually worked? What activity did you love? What meal plan really served you? What exercise routine gave your body the rhythms that it needed? What workout class did you like? What did you like to work out alone or with a friend? And then go through mental and emotional. You can also have a category for home life. So for your home life, what worked? What systems worked? What routines worked for you guys in this season of life? Now that is constantly changing because they're growing. So it's really good to evaluate what worked, what didn't, and then what can we think about for the next season as they're going to be changing. So go through each wellness area. You have personal growth, emotional and mental wellness, leisure and rest, spiritual wellness, environmental wellness or your home environment, social wellness, physical, occupational wellness, financial wellness, and your marriage or romantic relationships. Okay, so those are the areas you can work through. Question number 2 is, what didn't work? Now, this isn't about shame or beating yourself up. This is about an honest assessment. What fell flat? What did you try that wasn't for you? What relationships or commitments drained you? What habits didn't stick? What created more stress than value? So this is just information and data to work through. And question number 3, what do I need more of? What do I need less of? So this is where you get to be specific about the things that really did work. So do I need more rest, more connection, more creativity, more support, more boundaries, more play? Do I need less people pleasing, less scrolling, less time on my phone, less saying yes when I mean no, less guilt? Like, think through the feelings, the thoughts, not just concrete, but really think through your feelings as well. So write it out and be honest. Question 4, when did I feel most like myself? When was I walking in my kingdom identity? So this question is so important because it reveals when you were aligned with who you are, when you were operating from your truest self. Was it when you were creating something, or when you were serving someone, when you were with certain people, when you were in nature, when you were alone? So these moments that you felt most alive or most you are breadcrumbs leading you to your purpose. And as we work on defining our kingdom identity, these are really important to point out and to reflect on and to write down and to remember all the things about them. What did I think? What did I feel? Why did I feel like myself? Okay. And then here is the big bonus question. And this is a question that you're asking all the time. And so this is really good to do at the end of the year. It's also really good to do just frequently. Okay. And so are all these questions. These are really good to do once a quarter, once a month, once a week if you have a really, really full week. Actually, I did it just yesterday as I was reflecting back on a workshop that I did on Friday. So I had an online workshop and I went through these questions. What worked? What didn't? What do I need more of or less of next time? Okay. And so the bonus question is, what is God teaching me? What is God telling me to know and do? So as we talk about no-do and the no-do prayer, this is something you should be doing all the time, right? And so you can go back in your journal throughout the year and say, what did God tell me to know? What did God tell me to do? Are there any themes? Are there any, did something come up a lot? Was he saying, trust me a lot? And I need to work on trusting God more, or which falls into obedience. So are you doing the things that he's telling you to do in the no-do prayer? Because that's the hard part, right? Hearing from God, what he's telling you to do, and then actually doing it, because sometimes it's not something we want to do. And so going back through those no-do prayers, but like just having that as be a routine and a rhythm. And definitely at the end of the year, what did God teach me throughout this year? And what is he telling me? What is he speaking to me? And am I doing it? Okay. Now here's where it gets fun. Once you've answered these questions, I want you to do something that might seem silly at first, but trust me, I want you to title your year. Yes. I want you to title your year like you would a book or a podcast. Okay. I want you to give it a main title and then a subtitle. For example, maybe your year was the unraveling, how I let go of what wasn't mine to carry, or the awakening, when I finally chose myself, or the building year, foundations for the life I want, or maybe the wilderness, finding God and myself in the hard places. Do you see what I'm doing? When you give your year a title, you're making meaning of your experience. You're creating the narrative. You're saying, this is what this season was about. And here's why that matters so much. Labeling is powerful. It can be powerful negatively And it can be so powerful in a positive way, just like when we label our feelings and name them. When we say, I'm feeling anxious or I'm feeling overwhelmed, it helps us process and understanding our experience. It takes something big and undefined and makes it manageable and gives it a name so we can work through it. We reveal what's there and we name it. When you title your year, you're acknowledging the theme, the lessons, the journey. And that acknowledgement is how we integrate growth. It's how we move forward with wisdom instead of just moving forward, right? Instead of just living this life, we're moving forward with wisdom and intention. So take time and play with this. Try on different titles. And when you land on the one that makes your heart say, yep, that's it, write it down. Remember it. Let it anchor your reflection. And then come tell me. Come tell me on Instagram. I would love to know. DM me at @theshanwright. Okay. So now we're going to move into another super practical tool I'm going to give you today. And honestly, this is something I want you to carry into 2026 and do it regularly. Again, just like the questions, but I want you to do this as often as you need. It is called the energy audit. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to grab a piece of paper and draw a line down the center. One side, it gave me energy. On the other side, it drained my energy. And what I want you to think through is the year or even just the last month or the last week and start listing the things that gave you energy or took your energy away. Be specific, be honest. This is for you. So no one needs to see this but you. But on the energy side, you might write things like my morning walk, my time with God, coffee dates with Sarah, reading before bed, that weekend with my husband, working on my business strategy, or volunteering at church, cooking new recipes, my daughter's dance recital, or when I get to teach a patient, or when I get to lead a conference room. On the drain my energy side, you might write things like scrolling Instagram late at night, Tuesday night obligations at school, the one friend that calls to complain all the time, laundry. Yeah, we can list chores. It's totally doable. Or that committee that I said yes to, but I dread every meeting. Comparing myself to my next door neighbor, my job. Like if it's just your job in general, we got to look at that, okay? And here's what I want you to understand. This exercise is revelatory because so often we think our problem is time management. We think if we could just have more time, be more efficient, be more organized, have better systems, we would feel better. We think it's all about time. But you want to know the big truth, my friend, the big kicker. Peace in life is more about energy management than time management. It's all about managing your energy. We can have all the time in the world, but if we're spending it on things that drain our souls, you're going to feel depleted. And you can have a packed schedule, but if it's full of things that light you up, you're going to feel energized. So we need to be evaluating and reflecting on where our energy is going. Our energy is sacred. It's so sacred, especially as high functioning caregivers and nurses. We need our energy to be directed for the good of ourselves. So we are filled up with energy so then we can pour it out on others. If we do not have energy stores filled up in our body, in our mind, in our souls, then we cannot be the caregivers we're meant to be. Okay. Now here's what I want you to do with this energy audit. Look at that paper and decide, what am I taking into 2026? How will you intend and execute having more energy producers in this next year? Can you schedule more of those morning walks? Can you protect that time with friends that fill you up? Can you say yes to more creativity, more rest, the things that make you feel alive? And the goal for 2026, this is a challenge, is to start crossing things off the energy draining list. Now, I know some of those things cannot be eliminated immediately. Like your job, you can't just quit and drop it tomorrow. So it's things that you might have to work through. People that might be on that list, we can't just drop them and ghost them. It doesn't work that way. But you can decide how to manage your energy around those things, around those people. Maybe it's setting boundaries. Maybe it's for that job. Maybe it's updating your resume. Start exploring the other options. Start having your ears open and talking to friends that have different roles and different positions. You give yourself permission to dream about what could be possible instead of feeling stuck. And here's the thing, you are not a victim of your life. You are a steward of your energy, and you get to make choices on how you spend it. Okay, now I love how this energy audit pairs so beautifully with something else I talked about in episode 202, which is the core values assessment. So in that episode, we talked about how we make decisions that align with who we are and our core values. And we can make decisions better when our core values are clear and defined. So when you combine that clarity with the energy audit, you become unstoppable. You're now not just reacting to life, you're making intentional decisions based on what matters to you and what energizes you. You're walking in your kingdom identity and you're living on purpose. And that is exactly what I want for you in 2026. I want you to live more on purpose, more in your identity, more alive than ever before. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up, but before I do, I want to extend an invitation. You're listening to this and thinking, Shan, I need help. This is a lot of questions, a lot of reflection, a lot of processing. I'm an auditory processor. I need to talk this out with someone. I want to walk through these questions for you. I want to invite you to book a free stress assessment with me. This is a completely free call where we get on Zoom together. We walk through all these questions. We do our energy audit. We identify the stressors. We talk about our values, and we set you up with a plan for a year living in peace and freedom. You can book that at bit.ly/stress assessment call. The link is also in the show notes, and this is a gift to you. It is free, no strings attached. I want to do this with you because I don't want you to have to do this alone. You don't have to figure it out by yourself. We actually are relational human beings, and processing this with another human being, especially a coach, is so powerful. You want someone in your corner that sees you, who asks you the right questions, who helps you to get the clarity that you need. And that's the difference between just living and going through life alone and surviving and truly thriving. So I want to help you live in this clarity that you are looking for. Okay, friend, thank you for being with me this year. Thank you for showing up, for listening, for doing the work. Thank you for caring about your growth, your peace, your purpose. 2025 has been a year, hasn't it? And whatever your year looked like, whether it was full of wins or full of wilderness or breakthroughs or breaking down, I want you to know you made it. You are here. And here is holy. Here is where God is. He is with you right here. And as you step into 2026, I want you to do it with intention, do it with awareness, do it with knowing that your energy is sacred. You are worthy. Your purpose is real. Your life is meant to be lived fully alive. So go do that reflection work, title your year, do your energy audit, step into 2026 ready to live more on purpose, more in your identity, and more alive than ever before. I'm going to be cheering you on every step of the way. Come back here for more encouragement, and be sure to book that stress assessment call, and be sure to come back for next episode in the new year, as I have a huge announcement. My Epiphany on Epiphany, January 6th, 2026. Shalom. Shalom. Hey, Wellness Warrior. I pray that blessed you. And if so, it would bless me big if you would write a 5-star review and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Not only would this make me super happy, but it will allow for others to find this show too. Also, I love to chat over on Instagram, so make sure to take a screenshot, share to your Instagram stories, and tag me at @TheShanWright so I can see it and we can keep chatting and bring other moms to chat with us. Until we get to chat again, mama friend, may the Lord's face shine upon you and give you peace.